Okay, everyone, we're here to talk about Axis versus Allies. But that's 1941. That's 1942. Let's talk about it.
5. Right. I have to say, this is the most ridiculous board game I've ever seen in my life.
Are we starting yet? Oh, sorry. Yes, this is the most ridiculous board game you've ever seen in your life.
It's... Where do you put this?
I have no room for it.
But, like, in the perfect world of the universe, where could a normal, ordinary person store this board game?
In a closet, I suppose?
Like, it's not going to fit on a bookshelf. I mount it to the wall or something, I guess.
As you've seen from the little bit, this is a huge freaking game as compared to the original, which I just showed.
This was Mason's special Christmas present request.
That's the one we originally played.
Yes, we played this on the channel.
And look at this, is like double the size of it. This is like baby's first Axis versus Allies. This is getting ready to win the entire war.
And you're going to be spending about the same time that they took fighting the war playing the board game for the
4 to 6 hours for this game. I have played this game. I played it with her dad the other day.
How long did you...
It was about 6 hours.
It was about 6, I thought it was.
He ended up winning because he took Tokyo from me. I didn't realize his transports were that close.
My dad can, like, he won't know the rules of the game, and you're trying to teach him the game, and he has no idea how to play the game, and he will still win the game every time. I don't know what sorcery he uses, but... He plays with my father because he looked at me and was like, I love you, and I looked at him and said, no.
So, this is a very big game, obviously. So, I'm going to take the lid off. So, first things you're going to see is, I haven't been playing it, so everything's a little messed up. First thing is, you got these boards here. Demi told me not to go over the rules because it'll take too long, which it will. If you've played original Axis versus Allies, you know what's going on here.
Oh my god.
That's the rule book for it.
Gosh.
But can we just take a second to talk about this freaking storage?
It's so tiny. The tiny print.
This is the coolest storage.
Whoa, they're boxes.
There are boxes for every nation. United States, United Kingdom, Soviet Union, Germany, Italy, Japan.
Holy crud, look at that. Okay.
And when you put them all together, they make one big picture of like guns and stuff.
That's pretty.
I feel like it's really cool. So yeah, you just do like that. And each one of these has all the... It has your, like, HUD, I guess you would call it. You've got your units. You've got your actual control tokens is what they're called.
That's so cool.
And whenever I was playing the other day, I was using this little spot here that's empty for the money, because you have to keep money separate for each nation.
Yeah.
Jimmy's playing with the computer over there.
I figured it out. This is so cool!
So every nation has their own units and stuff like that. And the funny thing is, every nation has their own amount of units, because some nations were stronger than others during World War II. And this is a very close representation of how World War II was fought.
Alright, very, very briefly, please. How is this different than the small one?
There's more units in this one. The map's bigger. There's more territories to take. There's more things you can use.
More guns. I don't remember
More guns,
these.
more dice.
What the heck is that? A factory?
Yeah, those are factories. So in the one we played originally, which is the one we started with, you had
you can go
preset
find
factories
our video for
and stuff like. You had preset places for factories.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
On this one, you can put factories wherever you want to.
Oh my god!
And that's not even the board game. It's the board game. That is just part of it. Is made of 3 separate boards that go across the entire table, and is the entire map.
Oh my god!
Of the United. Here, we're gonna have to like wiggle some things around here.
What is this monstrosity?
This is the entire map of the whole entire world during World War II.
It won't even, like, the whole thing is just not even, oh my gosh.
Like, I'm holding everything over here and we can't get it all in frame.
Oh yeah, I remember, okay, so from bits and pieces, first of all, Japan was, like, over here.
Yeah.
And, like, all of these were not broken up.
Nope.
So now it's all broken up. This, I don't think, was here. I think it was just, like, Russia.
Yeah. So there's a lot more to this game than it was the first one we played, the baby's first one, like, that kind of teaches you the game. And this game, I'm going to set stuff back here because we got the thing here. is a very accurate representation of World War II during that time. History buffs will love it. So you have nations that were neutral during World War II. So the rules state, I'm not supposed to go over the rules, but I'm just telling you what that means. These areas that are like this are neutral, so you couldn't move anything into them or fly over them or anything.
I
They're
remember
all
that from the first one.
You can't move there. You've got like the Suez Canal right here.
I remember that that was the first one
People
too.
can't cross unless you own both nations on Transjordan and Egypt. The way you win the game is the first person to 15 capital cities is the winner.
These ones right
Yes.
here, the red ones. Okay, so 15 of them.
But there's a shorter version, which is what I played with your dad, which is the first one to 13 cities.
Shorter version. So you
Yes.
guys played the shorter
Yes.
version for 6 hours.
Yep. I was teaching your dad at the same time, though, so I've got that.
The shorter version, guys.
So the one we played originally had like battleships, destroyers, submarines, tanks, and people. And that was about it, really.
I remember that. So it
But
sounds
this one,
like the regular.
I'm gonna pull out. I'll just get Soviet Union here because they're closer. You can grab one. So this one actually has aircraft carriers. It has transports. It has your basic infantry dudes. You've got bombers. You've got where was it at? Destroyers.
These look like the same ones from the other ones. Are these?
They are
pieces
similar,
the
but
same?
they are not exactly the same.
They're not exactly the same.
Fighters. There is artillery pieces.
That's different.
There's a lot in this game that you can play with, essentially.
Pew 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 pew.
One of the coolest things that I noticed about this game, so these are all representations of your units, right?
Yeah.
They didn't have to, but if you look, for instance, this is the Russian tanks, and these are the Japanese tanks. Every unit is modeled
different.
after what their battle tanks and stuff look like for that nation specifically.
There is no way I can get these tiny details up on there.
Every
But
single unit is measured that way.
the treads are different. There's like a little bit of detail. Like it's very small, but like these are
That's
two
like a
different
Russian
tanks.
SU tank, and that's like a small like Chiha or something like that Japanese tank.
Cool.
And they did that. There are 6 nations in this game, and they didn't have to. You could have just had everybody have the same tokens, just different colors.
Right.
And every single piece looks different depending on the nation.
So even the ships and everything.
Yep, this is the
too.
aircraft carrier for the Soviets. This is the aircraft carriers for the Japanese.
Oh, I see. Oh man, it's such a tiny difference. But the little pieces on top are actually different.
Even the soldiers, I'm going to show this right quick. So these are the Japanese soldiers. I don't know how it but they have long rifles.
Right here, I might be able to show that
but
one.
the Soviets have like a PPSH they're carrying because that was their frontline rifles and stuff. Their submachine guns.
Do you see how that's different there?
They did that for every single piece. This is a Russian bomber. This is a Japanese bomber.
Oh, the Russian one's huge.
Yep, they're all similar to their actual counterparts.
Okay, that's actually pretty darn impressive. I mean, if you're a history buff and like you're a real stickler for these things, that's really cool that they did
And the
that.
biggest issue, honestly, for taking this route that me and your dad had when we played, was that it's really hard to tell some ships apart so far as what they are. So in this game, the game we played only had submarines, destroyers and aircraft carriers and battleships. This one adds a cruiser into the mix.
More than cruiser.
So it's kind of like a middle ground. But here's the thing. That's a destroyer. And this is the problem right here. You can't see what... They look so similar to each other. I think that's the cruiser.
Oh,
you see how similar they are to each other,
it's
though?
Just like a little
it's
bit...
slightly a bit bigger than the destroyer is.
Yeah, maybe
But
like
if you're
a quarter
playing
of
the
an
game, it's really easy to mix those up.
Yeah.
You know? And they still... some nations they look better, right? Because every nation is modeled after its nation. But...
Wow. That's crazy.
That's kind of how that works. That's the only problem with that and that... I think it was Soviet Union and I believe Italy here. They have very similar colors. Even your dad was having trouble looking at making the difference.
Oh yeah.
They are very. That's just. I'm colorblind, and I can tell that's only slightly less.
Yeah, you got
darker
brown,
than that
and
is.
then it's like a burgundy, I guess. But I could see where you'd have a lot of trouble. Oh, and then some random extra.
I don't know what those are actually. We played the entire game, and I'm sure there's a reason they exist, but I didn't know what they were, so I stuck
random
to the
green
basic
dudes?
rules and played it the basic way.
Yeah, some random green dudes. Who's that? Is this Italy?
Yep.
Do you have Soviet Union?
I do.
Okay.
Nope. I'm not supposed to go through the rules right now, so I'm not going to. The thing is, I don't think I'm going to get Demi to play this with me.
6
Because
hours!
we like board games, but unfortunately, I don't think board games more than she does. So,
Oh god, I have to. Where? Oh.
like,
What goes where, my dude?
just follow the patterns.
I know, but.
That's all you got to do. Follow the patterns, just like that.
Okay. We're just making a puzzle, making a gun puzzle.
And then this goes here. That goes over there.
Hey.
And then you put all this up.
Ah, cool.
I didn't show it. Actually, I should show it though. So in the original game, you spend, and you do it in this one. You spend money on buying units. Remember that?
Yeah.
But on the one we played, you kept track of your money with like a little token that you moved back and forth.
Yeah.
This game actually gives you, and I think it's either in this one. Yes. Basically, Monopoly money. It's actual Monopoly money, basically, to keep track of how much you make.
That's nice.
You can spend every turn.
I
And you have to
forget
keep
about it
track
for a
of
long time.
every single nation's own money.
Jeez.
Me and your dad found it pretty simple just by taking what the nation has in money and putting it in its box and closing the box when we're not playing that particular nation. So we knew that was what it was.
Right.
Then you've got these little chips, which mean +1. This is +6. These are the specific nations you have to capture in order to win.
Ah, okay.
And you hand those back and forth depending on who has it.
Yep.
And there's another part to this one that is added that is not in the other one at all, and that is there's a research phase. So you can get upgrades and stuff for your things to do extra damage or something
Rockets,
like
let's go.
and so this was a really very comprehensive. This is the anniversary. I said it was a 1942 edition. It is obviously 1941. It is the anniversary edition of 1941. So it is exceedingly
600
huge.
playing pieces.
6 playable powers. And
So you can have 6 people playing.
yep, you can have 3 people for the Allies and 3 people for the Axis. When me and your dad played, he played Allies, I played Axis.
My God.
So I controlled 3 nations, he controlled 3 nations. But I can imagine if you had 6, like, history people all together, they would have a total blast blowing each other up in this game.
God. I can't even imagine having like 6 people like super.
I imagine that would be a lot of time in between turns.
That would be, yeah, that would take absolutely
So
forever.
I would actually say the engagement for this game is kind of low from what I played.
Because it's, I mean,
Because
a turn's going to take a long time.
You can't interrupt the other person's turn or anything, and it's going to take a lot. They got to do a lot of steps they got to do to finish their thing. So that's going to be a little not great, but you do have a little bit of engagement because you got to pay attention to what they're moving and stuff like that.
I love playing board games for this channel, and I love this man sitting across the table from me. I can tell you right now, you're not going to see this one on our channel. Sorry, guys.
You might if I can get somebody to do it with me.
Unless you and my dad want to play this on our channel one time. And I will be sitting over there doing something much more exciting like cross-stitch.
But so that does it for the big Axis and Allies Anniversary Edition.
He really wanted to show it off, didn't
I
he?
did. I got it for Christmas from my parents, so thank you, parents, so much. I have a spot for it right now. I'm putting it in the bedroom in like a little on top of one of the shelves. So it's got a spot. It cannot fit on this.
It can't fit on anything. Like
I
again,
thought
I
about
don't know
taking
where
and like putting nails in the wall and like sort of hanging
Just
it
literally
up on the nails.
mount
Like,
it to
yeah,
the
so 'cause it's
wall.
got good artwork, really cool artwork on there. But you know that sounds cool to me.
That's a thing. That's a whole thing.
It's also put out by Renegade Game Studios, which if nobody knows, they are also the ones who have redone HeroScape.
I didn't know that. Cool.
You know, they got that going for them. They get some pedigree there.
We gotta get that for you, don't we?
The remake.
Yeah.
I mean, we could, but I'm happy with my
Yeah, we
original
played
up there.
old school a little bit ago on the channel. That's cool.
All right, well, I guess that does it for us on this then. I think this is our last unboxing video for today.
For us.
We'll have more coming down the pipe soon.
Oh, yeah. The Kickstarters are streaming in all the time. If you're interested in seeing us play this actual, the smaller version, I played that one. There's going to be a link to that in the description below. You can click on it, watch
the smaller version.
Pretty sure I trounced you. Oh yeah, it got Japan. It's always Japan. I'm telling you,
it's
always.
It's a small island. You forget about it.
It's always Japan. All right, oh god, we gotta visit.
Just a quick story. Me and her dad were at each other's throats, trying to beat each other, and I was gonna. He had Soviet Union all up next to Germany over there, and so the backside of his Soviet Union was completely empty. So I'm like, okay, I had Japanese people on the eastern coast of Russia, so I'm like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna put a bunch of tanks right here, and I'm gonna take all these tanks and I'm gonna go to the backside of the Russians and put them together between my Germany and my Russia. So I bought a bunch of tanks and I set all those tanks in an area in Asia. I forgot about Japan because Japan, he currently had he had the United Kingdom and the United States had boats all in the waters around Japan, all of them. But I didn't see a transport or anything, so I'm like, I'm safe. There's no boots on the ground there, so he can't take it. So I bought like 8 tanks, and I threw every one of them into Asia. All of them. Not even realizing that Japan was completely unprotected. And then I take my turn, and he takes his turn, he's like, can I do this? I'm like, no, you can't do that. He's like, oh, but I can do this, and he had a transport sitting down there, United Kingdom transport with one dude on it.
One guy marched into Tokyo.
And said, this is mine, and that was the last nation he needed, and I didn't pay no attention to it. I thought I was being sneaky. But, alright, so we'll let you guys go. I had fun talking about this. I'll try and play with somebody at some point.
It'd be funny seeing you guys play this. The table is barely big enough, which is absurd to me. But if you guys want to see us play lots of board games, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the little ding-a-ling-ling bell, and that'll give you those little alerts whenever a live show is coming up. We try to do it on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We try to. You can follow our platform previously known as the Tweeter. I try to put up if there's something coming up. I've been great about that in the past, but that's when things usually are. But like all our videos are on YouTube. YouTube exists. You can watch them whenever the heck you want. So that's that. Hit the like button because you're a cool person and cool people hit the like button. And we'll see you whenever we see you. All right, guys?
Bye.